A very interesting thing that has happened over the past few days, ever since the Bhumi Pujan, is this let's build a hospital at the Ram Janmabhoomi complex chorus, which has been created by a few people. It is very amusing and very interesting to see how suddenly people left with absolutely no arguments whatsoever have come out with this we should build a hospital there. Now, okay, it is okay for people from Bengal to feel that way because in Bengal, we as it is do not have access to good healthcare and hospitals. We have to go all the way to Vellore or to Delhi or Mumbai to get our treatment done. So we understand it. Whenever we see an empty piece of land, we are like, hey, let's build a hospital there, let's build a hospital there. But otherwise, even across the country, there are a few of these communists who are getting into this hospital banao sort of a propaganda. Now, see, it is one thing to note that, there are two aspects of life. For example, there is an aspect of joy, happiness, creativity, excellence, worship, celebration. And then there is an aspect of disease, depression, sadness. It is so twisted that when out of desperation, you try to superimpose one over the other. It is like you are going to watch an IPL match and you sit in the cricket stadium and say that why don't they give a documentary or why don't they give a demonstration on how to provide sanitization during corona? Or you go to a multiplex to watch a movie and then you watch a movie and then you say, why are they showing a movie? Why didn't they show a documentary on how to fight the disease and what medicines to take? I mean, is there any logic behind that? You are building a temple, a place of worship, a place where the faith resonates of millions. And here we come up with build a hospital. Like, do we get that this is such a farce and so ridiculously illogical that it becomes amusing to a level? They are two different things altogether. And secondly, frankly, nobody's interested in the hospital. It is just a ploy which is being used because the same group of people, right from around 30 years back, they built this propaganda, this narrative that this Ram Janmabhoomi thing is just election propaganda. BJP is using that to get votes. They will never build a temple there, blah, 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 blah. And today, when finally they're seeing it in front of their own eyes, that the temple is being built, they are getting into all this out of no other logic to hold. They have got into this build a hospital propaganda. Nobody is interested in the hospital. See, if you are really interested one pointedly on hospitals, you would raise the question when our chief minister spent millions of our taxpayers' money putting up billboards on no CA, no NRC, no CA, no NRC. You come to Calcutta and see all over the city there are these billboards in blue and white on NRC CA, NRC CA. Who paid for that? That time, the same commies did not come out with a single propaganda of why don't we save that money and build a hospital? And you need a hospital in Calcutta more than you need in anywhere else in India. That time they didn't bring that up. When the same party, the Trinamool Congress, appointed Prashant Kishore for its election propaganda as their strategist, they paid 5 crores to him. There was no voice of why did you give 5 crores for election propaganda? Why don't you build a hospital there? When the same amount of money is spent for salaries of muezzins and what you know as monthly stipends, there is no propaganda. When banners are put up of Pride of Bengal and the upcoming nephew of Trinamool, there is no propaganda. All this hospital propaganda comes moment they see a dharmsthal, a temple, a mutt. That also not when they see a mosque or a church. It is very weird. Like they will never say let's build an ICU at Jama Masjid, or they'll never say let us build an OT at the diocesan church. Their entire healthcare awareness comes up suddenly when they see a Hindu place of worship. It is very, very amusing and funny. Achha, let's leave for a second that, we leave aside all these facts and look into I am interested in the healthcare of people. This is the logic, no, they are giving. More important during these times is you have to focus on the healthcare. Building temples is not going to help. Okay, healthcare. The Ayushman Bharat scheme, central government scheme, gives us a security cover, an insurance cover of 5 lakh rupees per family. 5 lakh rupees per family for coverage of all types of medical diseases, pathologies, and investigations. Okay. How many families are there in Bengal which would have been covered under Ayushman Bharat scheme? 1.12 crore families. How much does this amount come to? It comes to 5.65 lakh crores. I repeat, 5.65 lakh crores just insurance cover which the people of Bengal would have benefited had they taken the PM Ayushman Bharat scheme. Healthcare. We are talking of healthcare since we are shedding our tears for hospitals. Not a single of these educated intellectua of Bengal raised a voice there that our people were being deprived from this scheme. Our state government party came out with this defense that we have got our own policy. They have that policy, something, Swasth something, and it is better than Ayushman Bharat. It might be better than Ayushman Bharat, but the difference between a central government scheme and a state government scheme is that the central government scheme is actually implemented. That also we have to take into consideration. The state government schemes are never implemented. It is like one day suddenly saying that all our corona treatment is free. It might be free, but it is never implemented. Ayushman Bharat is being implemented. Come to my hospital, I will show you outside the state. It is being implemented. People come here and get their treatment done, paid by the government. And the best thing is, it is not just your primary treatment. Secondary and tertiary healthcare is also covered under Ayushman Bharat. For example, cancer surgeries are covered under Ayushman Bharat because it comes under secondary and tertiary treatment. So if we do not understand these basic things, there is cashless insurance in Ayushman Bharat. And the entire family gets covered. It is any member of the family can avail the facility, unlike personal insurance cover. The poor, if we really want to benefit the poor, we must segregate facts from propaganda, intention from honest sincerity, and not just go by this attempt to divide people and produce a malicious image on our history, culture, and tradition. Thank you.